And the next part of our conference morning will be our presentations of the 4 pillars. And so at this time, we would like to welcome District Director 1, Dr. Heidi Schaefer, to present on, I believe, the membership pillar. And Danielle, I believe, will be sharing her screen.
Thank you, Danielle. I'm very tech illiterate, so I need help. These slides are from the SIA website, so I appreciate them doing them. And I'll just add and subtract where I feel it's helpful. So I'm Heidi Schaefer, your District 1 Director, proud to be here supporting membership. To me, there's no more important pillar. I'm sorry, without members, what do we really have? So it's my pleasure to be here today and give you some tidbits or some information that you probably already know, but just reinforcing what's important to keep our members engaged. So we'll go to the next slide if you can. There we go. Okay, so obviously SIA has a goal. That goal is to keep our members engaged, but they also want to increase the number of members per club, and they obviously want to increase the number of clubs across our region and across the Americas. Soroptimist International, the Americas, as Michelle referenced earlier, is a global organization. We do some amazing things, and obviously the more members we have, the more impact we can make. So if we're going to achieve our next big goal to invest in the dreams of 500,000 women and girls through access through education, starting in 2021, the time is now, because we have a decade to get that done. And so more people involved means a bigger impact. And I want to thank our membership chairs this year. It's been an incredibly tough year, and yet Southern Region barreled through, and we achieved a higher number of members than other regions that are struggling. Frankly, it's been a tough year. I expected to lose members, but it's a testament to the hard work of our membership chairs and our leadership, as well as our presidents. So thank you all. You deserve a round of applause. Next page, please. Okay, so the Diamond campaign, some of you are probably familiar if you've attended meetings in the past. We're now in phase 3, and the goal basically in terms of Diamond campaign, it's a fancy way of really focusing on our membership retention, where we want 85% or greater, which we've been successful in doing as a region. And then ultimately the goal for SIA is to get at least 15 new clubs chartered. Now we are working on 2 here in our region. Obviously this year wasn't a great year to start really digging in and trying to do that. But I think as we come out of this pandemic, we will definitely charter at least 1 club, and we'll keep you guys posted as to where that may land. Next slide, please. Okay, engagement and member retention. So as we know, in order to recruit and retain our members, we must provide engaging experiences to keep people engaged. If you're looking for ideas, I just want to point out that the Soroptimist, the big pages, the web pages, they have a toolkit available where you can pull up some cool creative ideas to get your members excited to be part of this great organization, or just how to kind of keep them active in it. But I didn't want to sell ourselves short. Even this year, which was a crazy year, we did a lot of things without even realizing that we're participating in member engagement. I know I can't see hands right now, but I'm sure everybody listening attended at least one Zoom or other video conferencing platform meeting, including this one. You probably did an online social event this year. I know I did several. I participated in many across different clubs. That was really interesting to see what you guys are doing. And in a weird way, by doing this Zoom type of thing, it allowed me really to get a bird's eye view of clubs that I can't visit that much in person, even during a normal year. How many of you have written a letter or sent a card to a Soroptimist by snail mail? That's really important. It lets people know that we care about them and we're thinking of them and celebrating those milestones. It could be a birthday, or it could be the birth of a grandchild. So we need to keep that in mind, that also has a big impact. If you've been invited to celebrate another club's success and be on their Zoom sessions, that's important. Or inviting people even from the upper echelon, the SIA or Soroptimist International itself, to be part of it. That obviously shows that we have this commonality, which is this mission to service. And it's really neat to see how we intertwine, not just locally, but across the globe. How many of you called just to check on a fellow member during lockdowns? I know some of you did. I received some of those calls, and I made some of those calls. Or you sent a care package. I got to tell you, sending a care package makes you feel just as good as the person receiving it. There's a beautiful gift to being a Soroptimist, and knowing someone's looking out for you is really an incredible feeling. A lot of people join Soroptimist. As much as we do it for service, I can tell you one of the big things we found from research is they want to be part of a fellowship of friends. And I can tell you personally, being a member of, let's say, BOCA, I have a second family in Soroptimist. And I feel that's a really important reason to stay involved beyond the service. So I'm just really pleased that we've done a lot of things already this year, in a crazy year, and we should be really proud of what we've accomplished. We are committed to this mission, and together, I think by having more members, we will make an even greater impact. So again, thank you for all that you do. Let's go to the next slide, please. Okay, so club meetings. We all know we still have to have them. Even in a pandemic, we have to have our business meetings. Operations is a must. And thank God SIA this year has updated their policies to allow us to vote and meet virtually. And I would implore you to think about, is that something valuable for your clubs moving forward, to have maybe a hybrid model, not to replace your live interactions, but consider if you got more members this year joining or being active in your meetings because they live 50 miles away and normally can't attend a live meeting, maybe offer this additional incentive or option for them to keep them engaged. Regardless, meetings in any format should be engaging, organized, inclusive. Of course, we want everybody to have a voice at the table. My advice is to send out your agenda meetings well in advance, as much as you can, and stick to them, avoiding chit chatter. We all like to do that, but in new business, that's where we can bring up new ideas, and we should be open and engaging to anybody who has an opinion. Even if there's a difference of opinion, we should maintain our professionalism and treat each other with respect. And the other thing that I found is a pearl for the new members. If you brought a new member into that club, introduce them and then allow them to introduce themselves. And let's really highlight these newbies, because to me, they're the lifeblood of our organization. As people age out, so to speak, we really need to bring in the new millennial generation and get them engaged. Frankly, sometimes they're better than people like me at social media, which is such a core component, but they also bring a different perspective, and we have to be willing to accept all viewpoints when we're talking about Soroptimists helping other women and girls across the globe. Next slide. Best practices. Okay, so let's get to it. Next slide. Number 1, provide regular opportunities for members to connect. That makes sense, right? So we're going to make sure meetings and dating, the dates and the times of our next meetings are announced as much as we can in advance. Sometimes things happen, but we also want to be flexible. Maybe we have a lot of people that work 9 to 5 that can't come to a daytime meeting. Is it possible for us once in a while to have a nighttime meeting for those members? Likewise, for our retirees who want to meet during the day, shouldn't we offer that opportunity for them to attend? So let's just be flexible. We can't accommodate everybody. If we have one member who can only meet from 3 to 4 every third Thursday, they're probably not going to be very engaged in our club anyway. They won't be able to participate very often, but we want to definitely be flexible. And I feel like Soroptimist gives us a platform to be flexible. The other thing is when we have our new members, please be sure to include them and to give them responsibility. Research shows that people that are part of teams, if you give them responsibility, they're going to feel like they have a vested interest in remaining. If they feel like they can just fall off and nobody's going to miss them, then they're going to fall off. And it's our job to retain these really important members. The other thing is all work and no play. We can't do that. I know some of my clubs are wild and crazy. I love them very much. Homestead, Davey, shout out to you guys. But we have to have some entertainment and fun and bonding because something else, like I said before, Soroptimists not only want to do service, they want to have that camaraderie. Fellowship is a big part of the reason that people join Soroptimists. It's a big part of the reason why they stay in Soroptimists. So give a wide array of opportunities. If you want to do a wine tasting, that's great. Not everybody drinks wine, so maybe do a book club, maybe do a movie night. Do something that would appeal to all different age groups. A tea party for some of our older members has worked well in my Soroptimist club. So just be flexible and be open and recognize your audience includes members of all ages, all races, all ethnicities. We have to be diverse and we have to be willing to kind of adapt. Next one. Best practices number 2. I'm not going to get too much into this because this is more public awareness and I know we're going to talk about that. But suffice it to say, every club should have a Facebook page and a website that is at least updated, I'd say every 3 months. If you go onto a website and you see the last post is from 1994, who's going to want to join that organization? I know in Ohio right now, they're doing something really cool. It's hashtag 52 Thursdays. And so those clubs look like they're very busy. Even if they didn't do something every single week, they're posting something new and exciting. So who's not going to want to join an Ohio club after seeing that? I would want to. The other thing is post pictures on your social media platforms. You can have a text conversation. You can have obviously words, but we're finding that people tend to click on an icon or a picture a lot more than they do just a bunch of words. So include some sort of picture. If it's backpacks that some people donated to organizations this year, that was brilliant. So show a picture of a backpack. It's something that someone might want to click on and read more about what you're doing. Next, number 3, remember to connect with members offline. I admitted that I can't work a PowerPoint presentation. So I'm really grateful that someone's doing that for me. There's a lot of members out there that are like me, maybe some of our older members as well. And we just prefer, a nice card in the mail or somebody to call us up and say, hey, you want to join our meeting? Or, hey, do you want to be on this committee? Those kinds of things can go a long way. And I don't want to leave out people that aren't so tech connected, but we definitely have to have a variety of options for all our members. Next. So in closing, I just want to say Soroptimist is nothing without its amazing members. You guys make the difference. So if you enjoy your club, I'm going to throw down the gauntlet. At the next meeting, bring one guest. Just think if each of us brought one guest. We could literally double, maybe even triple if we bring more than one guest of our membership here in the region. Because to me, you're all the best ambassadors for our cause. You guys really are the living proof of why Soroptimists are Soroptimists. What makes you come back year after year is so powerful. So share that message of hope with prospective members and invite them to a meeting. And then, of course, we must be welcoming to everybody who joins and let them know that they're a valuable part of our team. In the end, if you need any specific questions, especially in District 1, please feel free to call me. I'll try to help you with a recruitment idea. Or if you're having problems retaining guests, I can kind of maybe help identify where we can tweak things. And then, of course, on the next page, there's a membership number for the international organization, and they have great ideas that are shared across the entire Soroptimist International of the Americas platform. And there's no sense in reinventing the wheel. If they have something that works, why can't we get help from them and then copy that at our local level? So I appreciate your time and attention. Again, call me if you need anything. Thanks so much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Dr. Heidi. Nobody better to present our membership than Dr. Heidi. She has been one of the biggest membership recruiters, one of the most passionate people in growing her club since the day I met her. And everything you said was just so true. So we definitely appreciate all those tips. Danielle and I were actually talking about how amazing you were while you were speaking. So thank you again for taking on that presentation for membership. And I will follow you with our presentation on fundraising, which is without members. Again, we can't reach this big goal without fundraising. There's no way to reach the women. So I will go ahead and screen share and move on to our next presentation. Okay, so fundraising is done on our local level, but one of the things that we need to also focus on is our fundraising at the region and federation level, the organizational structure and the contributions, and recent club fundraisers. One of the things that they've done with the slide is they've shown a couple fundraisers that other clubs have done throughout the globe, and it's kind of cool to see those, but we also know a lot of really great things that have happened here locally in our region for fundraising virtually. So one of the things is the club giving. And with club giving, last year we had 11 clubs participate, and contributed $71.50. So over $7,000 in club giving that was given. And as Federation guest BJ Gallagher mentioned earlier, more than 1,750 women through the Live Your Dream Awards and more than 17,000 girls through Dream It Be It last year were reached. And some of these were through at-large campaigns and funding that comes from the club giving, excuse me, and the Laurel Society. Our deadline for this year is May 31st. So please check with your clubs, club presidents and club treasurers, look at that to see if we've made our club giving contribution for the 2020-2021 club year. And myself and Governor-elect Kathy will also follow up with you guys to see if there's anything we can do to assist. We'd love to have 100% participation. We also know that it has been a challenge to fundraise. And so club giving is typically 10% of your fundraising dollars goes back in club giving to the Federation. And again, that comes back in the ways of the Live Your Dream Award. So tomorrow we have the honor and privilege of meeting an incredible young woman who took first place in our Live Your Dream Award. And that money that comes back to be able to provide her with additional funding comes through these programs and the fundraising of club giving. So the contributions, this shows where our fundraising dollars go, being able to grant Live Your Dream Awards to women who do not live near a club, ensuring resources for region and federation Live Your Dream Awards, providing the resources needed to conduct local Dream It Be It projects, and enabling newly chartered clubs to provide a Live Your Dream Award in their local community. And this is something that's really cool that headquarters does, is anytime a new club is formed, they actually assist that newly chartered club in making sure they can provide the financial means for that first Live Your Dream Award. So as Dr. Heidi was saying, we're trying to charter new clubs. That's really a focus. And it is an ideal time to invite new people into our organization to see all the ways we are still impacting change through this pandemic. More importantly, being there for one another, as Dr. Heidi was speaking about earlier. The other way that we do contributions is through the Laurel Society. And we currently have 55 members of the Southern region that are at one of the 7 levels. You'll see the 7 levels here. And there's more than one way to achieve these levels. So a lot of people will make an annual contribution and then they can move up in their level. And some people make a one-time contribution. There's also a Laurel Legacy where people leave money through a will. And then lastly, there is the monthly contributor program. And so that's something where if you do $25 or $50 a month, you can reach those levels fairly quickly for your Laurel Society. I started doing that with Governor-elect Kathy when we were district directors. And one day I just received a pin in the mail, like, congratulations, you're a Laurel Society member. And I was like, oh my, this is so exciting. And then Kathy received hers and we called each other and we were so excited. And then strangely enough, just this past week, right before this conference, I got another pin in the mail. And I was like, oh my goodness, I've already leveled up. And I didn't even realize it, because the money was coming out monthly and it wasn't something that I had to send in. It just came automatically from my account. Right now we have the Stargazers program to where if you decide to contribute a monthly amount to the Laurel Society, you will receive a pin for the $50 or more per month commitment, or for $20 or more per month, you will receive a bag. And so if anybody's interested in starting to contribute and to move their ways up in the Laurel Society program and the levels, you can put something in the chat box just to myself, or you can put it to where everyone can see it and I can get the information over to you. Again, the funds from this, as well as the club giving, go back to the items that we were speaking of earlier through Live Your Dream funding. So in fundraising on the region or local club level, they've highlighted 2 clubs from headquarters. These were both very cool fundraisers. One was SI Westminster, Canada, and it was an online program to where they did an auction. And I know that our Music City Nashville Club did an online auction. And so it made me think of them. And I believe either Huntsville or Tuscaloosa, forgive me, Alabama, I'm lumping you together. But I know one of them also did an online auction that was able to be conducted during a pandemic where funds were generated to put back into their coffers for their Live Your Dream Awards or their Dream It Be It. The Korea region, they had this lovely program. It made me think of one of our crafty people in our Tampa club, Terry Matlock. She is an amazing embroiderer, and as well as like Helen Bailey, they both make quilts, and they're just so creative. Korea sold tea towels in sets of 6, and they put them online, and people could buy tea towels, and it raised quite a bit of money for the Korea region. I think they sold, forget the amount right now, but it was something like 250 sets of tea towels for this online fundraiser. Another local project, Mary Beth from the Boca Club conducted a virtual bingo. And so I know that's a local club project that has occurred. And I believe they did it fairly quickly and made, if I'm not mistaken, over $1,200 from a one night of bingo. And she said that they had so much fun. So I do have in my chat box that Huntsville did do a online auction. So thank you for confirming that, Miss Sarah. And Music City Nashville is about to post their second online auction. So there's many things happening in our region that are showing us that we can generate funds through the virtual world. It's really pushed us to kind of get out of our comfort zone. I recall that, you know, a few years ago when we talked about, oh, should we make these meetings virtual because people can't get off work and the traffic's really bad at 5:30 and people live so far. And we were so worried about the connection, and we were so worried that people would stop coming to meetings that we kind of shied away from it for quite some time. And this pandemic pushed us into this platform of, you know, quick learn, this is how we're gonna connect. And what I think it's done is, one, it's obviously taught us a lot of technology. It's pushed us outside of our comfort zone. But I think it's also made us so excited for when we do get to meet in person again, that we won't really take that for granted as much as we used to. That drive may be welcomed, that traffic may be championed, and seeing each other and giving each other big hugs will be something that we all welcome again. So these are a couple, this is a quote from a Live Your Dream Awards recipient, that the Live Your Dream Award gave her the start and the validation that she needed at a very dark time of her life to believe in herself again. And then there's a picture of SI Ogden's Dream It Be It program in the Rocky Mountain region. And this just speaks again to the membership Dr. Heidi spoke about, and then the fundraising efforts, because without members, and then without the ability to provide the funds that provide the resources, we would not be able to achieve our big goal that we're working towards in the Live Your Dream program and the Dream It Be It program. If there are any questions, I will check the chat box before we move on to our next pillar. Let's see. Miss Helen Bailey, you put a question in here, and I want to make sure that I am, maybe you can expound on that a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yes, I know BJ mentioned in her presentation that especially the board members at SIA had made a contribution of personal significance. And I have been in touch with Nancy at headquarters. And so I just wanted to maybe expound on that a little bit, and maybe BJ could explain more about how to do that. I just did it by communicating with Nancy at headquarters, but is there a better way or whatever?
Well, I think that's a very good way, but you can also go on the website, and there is a connection there where you can just connect in, and you can make a payment with your credit card, or you can send a check. There, just any way you feel like is convenient for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that question, Helen, and the answer, BJ. We appreciate that. I don't see any other questions. I do see a few people reaching out about becoming a monthly contributor. So very excited to get that information over to you guys following conference this weekend. And as I mentioned, it was something that I think Governor-elect Kathy and I both were like, oh, we got this pin in the mail, and we didn't feel a huge strain on our wallet by doing the monthly contribution instead of a large contribution at one time. So I, highly recommend that if the means are available for you to do so. And without any further questions, I am going to turn our program over to Governor-elect Kathy, and I believe she will be presenting on our programs pillar. Governor-elect Kathy?
Thank you. Let me share my screen. Wait a minute. I'm getting there. Share screen. Oh, I'm disabled. Can I get enabled, please? Aha. Of course. One second. Okay. I am sharing the screen. Can you all see it? Okay, we have nods. That's good. Everybody's muted. Well, I happen to have a script for this one, but we'll see how that goes. I'm here to talk to you about what counts, reaching 500,000 women and girls. As you know, since 2012, we have been working on the big goal, and that's been primarily up to this date, the DREAM programs, Live Your Dream and Dream It, Be It. We have given $17 million to date for over 12,000 women through SIA. And then over 73,000 girls have been participating in the Dream It, Be It programs. But what happened was, because we were looking at a way of how we can impact 500,000 women and girls, there was feedback from the clubs that they do a lot of things in their clubs besides just the Dream It programs. So the thought was they would also like to include the impact that we have on what happens to the women and girls as far as providing them with an impact in their lives. In other words, what will help them advance for education, with access to education, and that's going to be what's counted towards the women and girls. So today I'm going to try to explain what that exactly means. This is now being called the Big Goal Accelerated Projects. And again, the projects that you do locally that are not part of the DREAM programs are going to be included in the count of the 500,000 girls. Now, this is what's the eligibility is what we need to talk about today, because sometimes we do projects that you're only dealing with school children, teaching them an art class, doing things that are really good and impactful for their lives, but it doesn't count in terms of what the collective impact would mean. It's only for, it'll only work with women and girls facing obstacles. It's going to provide, it should be providing access to education that will lead to economic empowerment, which is obviously our mission, and to be officially reported to SIA. The following will not be accounted towards the big goal: awareness projects, space beautification, sharing information and applications without training, general social empowerment, or serving anyone other than women and girls facing obstacles. This reporting will be separate from the Club DREAM programs, which will continue through the same process we have used in the past. And what do we mean by obstacles? Poverty, violence, racism, teen pregnancy, being a foster care youth, trafficking, of course, single parenting, substance abuse disorder, and there are others. Of what projects do count towards the big goal. Scholarship and awards, projects that remove obstacles to education, and training and career classes. The scholarships would be for the college, technical, vocational school, certificates, advanced degrees. Obstacles would be helped by providing college preparation exams, college applications, providing them education on how to fill out those applications, providing them training on computers, internet, providing transportation to get to school, preparing for exams and for college applications or entrance exams. Those would all be included. Classes focus on job training, skills training, applying for financial aid or college, computer training, or career mentoring. This is a time for a quiz. You can think in your head what your answer would be, because we have a lot of people to unmute if we didn't do it that way. Distributing self-care kits to women in a living shelter. This would be ineligible. Why? Because it does not increase access to education or lead to economic development. Hosting a class for secondary school girls who are low income, first generation college applicants to show how to apply for financial or higher education. I'm sure you probably know the answer to this. It would be eligible. Of course, all projects have to be reported to SIA through the official reporting link that's going to be opening up on July 1st. And you will be getting information on how to do that before that time. This is what you're going to need to report: your club and region name, what type of project it was it cash, was it classes, was it helping them get through their obstacles, the amount of funding provided and fees paid, if any. And again, the target population has to be women, girls, or both. It could be about their obstacles faced. Are you helping girls in foster care with their transitioning, for example? And then the number of women or girls who have benefited. It's optional to do some photos and add some quotes for women and girls who have benefited from this. So how do we report? As I said, SIA will be sharing a link for clubs to report their Big Goal Accelerator projects through the annual deadline of July 1st to report that club's year's projects, and this will start this year, July 1st, 2021. The staff will review the reports on a quarterly basis for eligibility. Now, I did ask them for an example. If we did a project where we were teaching financial about finances and how to budget and that type of thing, if a woman came to that course, every woman in that course would count towards the big goal. The club should do their best. They don't want it double counted. So if that woman came to one course and then 6 months later you had a different course that she went to, that's the same woman, so it should not count. However, if you're in doubt, you can go ahead and put it into your report going to SIA, and they will take a look at all of them and make that determination of what counts and what doesn't. So it's probably better to over-report and have it weeded out rather than missing something that you could have had as far as what counts for your club. So of course, we will continue to grow for impact of women and girls through the DREAM programs, the same way we are with the DREAM programs now. That will not change, and that will continue to happen over the next decade. Our evidence-based DREAM programs transform lives and unite our Soroptimist story. And the Big Goal Accelerator project will move us closer to our next goal. I can't talk. I think I got Priscilla's problem. Big goal of investing in dreams of 500,000 women and girls through access to education. So together we can create the vision that all Soroptimists hold dear, a world where all women and girls will have the resources and opportunities to reach their full potential and live their dreams. Thank you. I hate scripts, I'm so sorry.
Thank you, Governor-elect Kathy. Can I tell you how excited I am about this, you guys? I know they didn't call it the Dream Bucket. I don't know where past SIA board member, past parliamentarian, past governor Pat is, but she and Susan Davis, some of you guys have met her up at headquarters, kind of pitched this idea a couple years ago, correct? If I'm wrong, Pat? And a lot of clubs had been asking about, you know, what about all the women we're helping that don't fall into these two categories? Why aren't they counting towards our big goal? And so we should be so excited about this, that there's other ways and there's this third bucket. I don't know, did they officially name it, Governor-elect Kathy? I didn't see that in your.
It's the Big Accelerator.
Big Accelerator?
Yeah, the Big Goal Accelerator program.
Big Goal Accelerator. So I'm just super excited that if we do work with girls outside of our two programs and we are, you know, following those guidelines, that we get to count them towards our big goal, because what we do is so impactful in the community. So thank you for sharing that. I didn't see any questions pop up about it, but I'm sure you'll be receiving more information. And of course, if you have any questions as you're working with women and girls as we move forward this year, please definitely reach out to Governor-elect Kathy or myself. And go ahead.
I would also add, take a look at the programs you're doing now. A lot of clubs have their traditional programs. You may be able to add one aspect to that project you're already doing to turning it into an accelerator project.
That's a really great point, Kathy. Thank you for sharing that. And before we transfer over to our final pillar, there was one other question that came in about the Laurel Society or donations. District Director 1 asked, can donations be made in the honor of a club or in memoriam of a member? And yes, most definitely. So if you want to make a donation on behalf of somebody, on behalf of a club, online, you are able to do that. I actually received an email about a month ago that said, Betsy Lewis has made a donation in your name. And I was like, oh, and just out of, you know, just such a sweet gesture. And Betsy Lewis, as most of you know her, we talked yesterday that she should be in the governor's roundtable, because she definitely should have gone up into this position, and has been a huge mentor of mine here in the Tampa Pinellas area. So that was just something, as Heidi was saying earlier, when we get unexpected things from our Soroptimist friends, it's just something that brightens your heart. So yes, you can definitely make one. And we have saved, forgive me for saying the best for last, but I love Sarah's presentations. She is our little dynamo from Huntsville, Dr. Sarah Bang. I don't see you yet. You're somewhere on my screen here. And she is going to share her own screen and do her presentation. Are you there, Dr. Sarah Bang?
I am. Hi, everybody. Can you all hear me?
We can. Yes, ma'am.
Can. Okay. I've taken to, you know, instead of saying, oh, can you hear me? Say hello. I say, if you can hear me, say pomegranates. That's my new thing. So hopefully we're all pomegranated away. And up, it says I can't share my screen.
Oh, let me give you that permission.
I have two. I have a tablet and I have a computer. So you're going to want this again.
Let's make sure. There you are. You should be good to go now.
It still says no.
Oh, maybe I gave the wrong one.
The wrong one.
I'm going to give both of you a co-host, to Sarah.
Okay. Thank you. There it is.
Perfect.
Fabulous. Okay, I'm going to share my PowerPoint and I'm going to go into, how is that? Okay, so hopefully you're all looking at this last and final presentation given to us from headquarters. I'm Sarah Bang of Soroptimist Huntsville, and I'm your region public awareness chair. Today, specifically, I'm going to be focusing on the social media aspect of things. I know that public awareness and publicity is a wide spectrum of different ways to get out our message, but they wanted us to focus specifically on social media, which we all know and love. So there are a couple examples of some really cool things that some other clubs have done. I know that especially in the pandemic, we're all a little burned out digitally. And so there are some really great ideas in here, things I didn't even think about. Kathy mentioned, you were saying, maybe think about current programs you're doing now and how they can be, turned into a big accelerator program. Think about the programs that you do, and maybe you can turn it into a hybrid or a digital event with some creativity. There are some really amazing things that other clubs are doing to maintain this digital presence and really leverage social media to increase their membership, increase engagement, get the word out about their programs, about the Soroptimist brand, which I am so lovingly displaying today. And so there are a couple tips. There's a toolkit. There's great things that we can all use to get the word out. So that they're really pushing. They have this digital toolkit. They call it Soroptimist Forward. It's on their website. There are all kinds of things on there. You could probably go for months and never have to make your own content. Honestly, they have all kinds of graphics, customizable graphics where you can put in your club, put in your club's pictures, that kind of thing. But then everything has that Soroptimist color scheme and font and branding and toolkits, and they take all of that kind of busy work out of it, and so you can make these really beautiful professional products all with this toolkit that they have. They have a whole list of resources about using Zoom. Yeah, they have I should have used them. They have downloadable Soroptimist Zoom backgrounds. So you don't have to go and make your own. They have them already for you to go. They have all kinds of websites and links and how to use Soroptimist on these specific platforms. It's been a tremendous help. I know the club in Huntsville, we've leveraged a lot of these digital resources, and it really takes out a lot of the work for you having to do it yourself. You kind of don't have to reinvent the wheel because they have provided it for you. And anywhere on the spectrum of tech savviness, you can be at the bottom. You can be basically running Apple, and then of course I, as your public awareness chair, if there's anything you need help with or want advice on or you need a link for, that's what I'm here for, is to help your club shine. So as I'm, for an example, on the right, they have those are in the square shape, so they're perfectly shareable on Instagram and Facebook. You can download them, just quick little tidbits and memes to get the word out about Soroptimist. If you're launching a campaign, if you're getting out fundraising and you want people to know, okay, we're doing this fundraiser, maybe people want to know what Soroptimist is all about. There are these great resources that are easy for you to share and get out there into the community, get out there into the social media. They also have a list of recommended hashtags, so you can keep everything, kind of this uniformity, kind of a standard, just so that, you're not reinventing the wheel, you're not making stuff up. Whereas, let's say you're using a hashtag that you invented, but there are a million tags of one that Soroptimist already has. You want to clip into that. You want to clip into that community, clip into that user base that they've already built up. So you just go to, it's on soroptimist.org. There's a button that says your digital toolkit. I believe it's in the section that's labeled for clubs, but it's all right there. Lots of stuff for you to download, and I would very strongly recommend that you check it out. And maybe it'll give you some ideas. Maybe you want to take it and give it your own club spin on it. I think that's great, and get out there on your social media. So, I feel like, especially in the digital age, we all kind of know the value of social media and also the perils. But it's a very easy tool to engage your community. It's very easy to connect globally, worldwide. I know that on our Soroptimist Huntsville Instagram, I'm following Soroptimist clubs in Turkey and Korea, and all around the world. And it's amazing to see what all of these women are doing. And their different campaigns, and okay, well, we're all wearing orange today. Like all of Europe is wearing orange for women's violence today, and just open your eyes to this huge new community. it raises awareness of the dream programs, right? Especially if you're sharing this content, you're saying, oh, these are the programs, this is what we do. Not only are other Soroptimists seeing it, not only are people learning about what Soroptimist does, potential people who might apply for this program, they're out there on social media, right? So you have this amazing program, but nobody knows about it. It's tree in the forest problem. So you have there's young people, there's young women that are going to school. They're out there, and this you promoting this platform for the dream programs, you could be reaching their eyes and ears as well. It's a very powerful tool. They provide membership opportunities. You can connect with people. We've been talking about like digital things that we've been doing. You can advertise them on your social media, and then also fundraising. As Michelle noted, that a lot of clubs have been leveraging their social media to access their community to raise funds, because we can't yet hug each other and have our big parties and fundraisers and fun events and runs and things like that. So they found these wonderful examples from other SI clubs. On the left is SI of Clovis, and they adapted their Dream It Be It program to a Zoom kind of hybrid platform, and they were having Zoom meetings with the young girls, and they were doing their instruction, doing their things, and they would meet up in the park for socially distanced masked visits. So they had this hybrid Dream It Be It amazing program. SI of Cambridge, they use the Instagram stories feature. I don't know if any of you like to use it. I know I think I personally use my Instagram stories. I'm always putting something up on my stories, but they use it for a lot more than what they're cooking for dinner. They had previous recipients talking about the impact that Dream It Be It had on their lives once they had aged out of the program, and so you had these kind of alumni talking about their experience at Dream It Be It, and they put it up on their Instagram stories, which is just amazing. The SI Dundas, Ancaster, and Flamborough group, you can see that they use some of those customizable graphics that SI provides in that digital toolkit. And they were promoting the Live Your Dream Award on Instagram. You can tell, again, there's that square, that trademark square Instagram photo, but they really leverage that toolkit to get the word out about the Live Your Dream program. If you've ever done a live video or any kind of video, the thing that they say now, so text, obviously you can put in text, you can put in photos, but videos especially, and I mean, you can raise your hand or just raise your hand in your mind. If you've ever just been, kind of going through your phone and then the video pops up and you find yourself watching the entire thing, they can be very compelling little attention grabbers. And SI Oakdale really leveraged that to a pretty effective extent using Facebook Live videos. SI Port Orchard, the content on the right, again, there's that customizable graphic from the digital toolkit. They did recruitment drives on their social media for new membership. So all kinds of ways that these clever groups have been, using these toolkits, thinking outside the box, and still working to promote Soroptimist's mission, even when we're all stuck at home, which is absolutely incredible. Oh, these are fundraisers. So we talked about the auctions, you have sales, fundraisers. What's cool about this, and I think the next slide brings it up a little bit more, because other businesses, like your local business, let's say you're having an auction, or let's say they donate something, they have a social media presence too. They have a branding, they're trying to get their name out there, and you can leverage each other. Right. So, you say, oh, we're having this auction and we have this fabulous spa basket from XYZ, and then you tag them and then they tag you, and then your membership sees their stuff, their membership sees your stuff, and you kind of boost each other. And it's a great way to engage with your local community, support, local businesses, but then also get the word out about each other. And it's particularly effective because you can do tagging and you can, mention each other's names, things like that. And I mean, their businesses certainly appreciate it. So you can also get in touch with your local media. I know about, okay, so, Danielle, I see your thing. Should I look at that now? Who do we talk about getting Soroptimist gifts? Gifts on Instagram stories. I don't know. I will do some homework on that, Danielle. talking about, oh no, how do I, oh gosh, I'm all over the place. Okay. Where's my train of thought? You can also engage with a lot of local media. I know that in Huntsville, all of news media reporters, they're all on Facebook, and that's where they pull a lot of their ideas, suggestions for events, knowing when and where to show up to something. They find that on your social media. So it's more than just Soroptimists are paying attention to what you're doing. And so again, it's a pretty powerful tool that you can leverage in multiple ways and in multiple spheres. So having said that, and we have our branding, we have our toolkit, there's another digital resource that I want to call your attention to. Public awareness chairs. I emailed you about this a few months ago, but it is our 100th anniversary. And they have created a whole separate set of all kinds of digital tools for you to get the word out about this 100th anniversary. They've designed this beautiful logo. They have this purple, white, and gold theme running. You can put a ribbon on your profile picture. You can put it on your Facebook. They have little tidbits and little snippets of things that you can share to get the word out. And it's all pre-made or ready to go. And all in there, Soroptimist logos and color schemes and everything. You don't have to do that work yourself. They have like a digital, is it a party in a box? Yeah, celebration in a box. It's right there on the thing. They have all kinds of things for in the fall when you want to maybe launch a party or a digital celebration or that kind of thing. They have all those kinds of tools for you to celebrate the 100th anniversary. And I'm just geeking out about this 100th anniversary thing. It's just so cool. One club in Omaha, they're doing 100 miles for 100 years, and they're encouraging their members to walk 100 miles over a series of months. Like, it's not like an ultra marathon you have to do in one day, because I certainly couldn't. But then they've also turned it into this fundraising thing. And again, they're sharing, far and wide on their social media about this to get the word out. But I mean, what a cool idea. And I know that after a year of quarantine, I could probably use the exercise. I don't know about you. So the final thing about this 100th anniversary, if you're ever doing anything, like, again, you decide to do an event, or you put up new pictures and stuff, there is the established hashtag. It's hashtag Soroptimist100. And then if you include that on all your posts, everything will be, it kind of acts as a label for all posterity. So, it'll be categorized as part of this. People can search for it. So, if you label your post with Soroptimist 100, someone who goes in looking for a Soroptimist 100 material, yours will be in there along with anyone else throughout Soroptimist that has used that same hashtag. So it's kind of a way of categorizing and labeling everything. So it's all, that it's relevant, and it helps the search engines. We are not going to get into like digital spiders and everything like that. So the last thing I'll mention is that, the Soroptimist Southern Region, we have our own Facebook page. I would strongly recommend that you follow us. We have a website which we've just updated with new photos and new content and things like that. Definitely check it out. I myself, I'm Sarah Bang, Bang spelled like bang, 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 pretty easy to find. That I put my email on there, but I personally am on all of the social media platforms. Absolutely reach out and find me. I'm super into cooking and weather, so you might have to get some weather nerd posts in there. I'll say that right off the bat. Several of your clubs I've gone through and I've followed them personally. So if you've gotten a weird request from a woman in Huntsville about joining your Facebook page in, Tampa, that's me. I think it might be someone else, but it's probably me. Just so I can keep tabs on all of you and see what wonderful things your groups are doing. Amplify messages, celebrations, things like that. I know someone was inducted into the Laurel Society, and I was posting all over Southern Region, like, oh my gosh, I'm in the Laurel Society. Absolutely reach out to me, reach out to Southern Region. We're here to make you look good. And that's the end of my presentation. So I will turn it back over to Governor Michelle. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. It's always so informative, excuse me. And I know it's an area that we all can, benefit from. And it's a lot of information, though, I know, for a lot of our members. And so you guys, if there's any questions that you have, you can put them in the chat box now. I haven't seen any new ones pop in except for the one Sarah already answered. But of course, she's always available, as she mentioned, and she'll continue to kind of monitor your pages, your social media, send some emails to be there for guidance, direction, and support. So exciting about the 100th anniversary. So I think we all, that's just something that we really need to capitalize on in the sense of newspapers and social media feeds and stories, because there's not a lot of organizations that can say we're turning this milestone to start the next century. So thank you, Sarah. She did share the digital toolkit in the chat box for everyone. Yvette said great energy, Sarah. She loved it. So we always have great feedback from your presentations. We hope you're a speaker for us for many, many years to come, and possibly in this chair in the future as well. So
I see, do I see a hand up? Is that Dr. Heidi? You have your hand up?
Yeah, yes.
Hi.
I think you're awesome, Sarah. Oh my gosh. I'm so intimidated by your tech savvy though. But one thing that resonated that you said that really struck a chord is, let's take advantage of free publicity. And I was just kind of brainstorming as you were talking, and I think about, these great milestones that we have, the Women's Right to Vote, or Women's History Month every March, or even Domestic Violence Awareness Month in October. A lot of city councils or county commissions will do a proclamation, and we need to sort of insert ourselves if we feel comfortable, for those of us who have relationships with some of those elected officials, or just say, hey, we're Soroptimists. We fight for women every day, women and girls. So can we be part of that picture? Can we hold a proclamation as well? It gives us free publicity, doesn't cost us anything. We could be in a local newspaper as a result of that. We could be on TV because they usually do some sort of little snippet at the end of every, newscast about community events. So these are just ways where we can expand our reach and our audience, and also letting these people know that we exist. I think you're right. We are that tree in a forest, and we have to do something to let people know that we're here. We're like sometimes the best kept secret, and we shouldn't be. We do such incredible work across the globe. So those are just some things that I was thinking about. And the other big tool we have besides a toolkit, SIA itself gets referrals. Getting back to membership a little bit, sometimes we get an email saying so-and-so is interested in becoming a member of Soroptimist of Pompano. We need to follow up quickly when we get those referrals, because that didn't cost us anything to get that lead. But if we wait 3 months to get back to a member, by then they've lost their drive. It makes us look disorganized. So I agree with you. We should use every tool in our arsenal, and free is best. That doesn't cost us anything. So great presentation.
Yeah,
Thank
like
you.
least amount of work, not least amount of work possible, but like, we don't need to reinvent the wheel, right? One thing that I do with my club every International Women's Day, which is March 8th, so you're gonna have to wait, 10 more months, sorry, gals. But every year there is an international Women's Day campaign and a theme, and they say there's like a pose. So 2 years ago, or last year, it was all about equality. So they asked everyone to make an equal sign, and you can have everybody to send in your photo. And you can say like, oh, we're part of this. And then you use the same hashtags, you use the same wording, so that, it's all, you're using the language that the global community is using. But yeah, as you said, Dr. Heidi, as you mentioned, it's free, it's already out there. You don't have to come up with it. You don't have to invent it. And you can chip in, you can plug yourself into this larger community, get your name out there. I absolutely recommend doing that. I like your idea about talking with chambers of commerce or media outlets. If there's an event that is relevant. I'm sorry.
I thought you were finished. Just go ahead and finish. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. But I do see, I think Susan had a hand raised, so I'm going to go to Susan, and then I'll go to you, Ms. Priscilla.
Yeah, regarding the proclamation, I've already reached out for October, the 100 days, 100 years. I already reached out to our local town, and SIA has a fillable proclamation as to what they wanted to say. And Davey, obviously, our mayor, who is also a member, they're going to recognize 100 days, but SIA has asked for all the clubs to reach out to their local towns and ask them to do the proclamation. And again, all the words are there right on SIA's website. So I've already started that rolling. And then for the orange, we had also a proclamation for the every 25th of the month recognizing domestic violence. Our town also did a proclamation for that as well. So we're already on top of the proclamation for October, but every club should get out there and
Yeah, thanks for
Check it
bringing that. That's great. I'm looking for, I've looked concentrated because I'm looking for the that 100th anniversary link. As you said, you know, they do a lot of it for you.
Yeah.
You just have to fill it in and customize it. It's super useful. So while I look that up, Miss Priscilla, I'm ready for you.
I was just going to kind of piggyback on what Heidi said, and between public relations and membership, to make sure, she mentioned how SIA has, will send you people that have contacted them. But if you have a club website, if it's easy for people to contact you there, ours has a link right on the front page, and we received I don't know, 4 or 5 inquiries through our club website this year, and 2 of them have become members. And it's just, you know, they've looked up, seen our local website, clicked on the contact us button that's right on the front page, and you know, we contact them within 24 hours, hopefully, and 2 or 3 of us do. You know, I received
that
email,
follow through is really key.
Yeah, the president and vice president get copies of it, and they both contact these potential members, and our vice president usually invites them to meet for tea or coffee or something, and she meets, you know, if they will, she meets them personally, and we've received members because it's been easy to contact us through our local website.
I just have one
Absolutely.
more thing to piggyback on the, I don't know if you're aware of the app Nextdoor. We started using Nextdoor to introduce ourselves to the public. So we've gone on Nextdoor, and we're trying to get membership through local people on our Nextdoor app. So we've started posting in Nextdoor as well.
I see a note from me. Yes, absolutely. I will. I'll refresh the PR chairs of all these links. Yeah, sometimes they get buried. I know mine definitely do. And someone says, "Oh, did you read my email from a month ago?" So absolutely.
I feel you on that, Miss Sarah. I get a lot. I'm like, oh,
It's the digital life. It's the
digital life. It's a very fast-paced digital world we're in right now. Well, thank you again for all that great information. For those of you who aren't following the chat, Sarah did also put the 100th anniversary toolkit in the chat, and she will send it to the PR chairs or club presidents if they're acting as one and the same. She will send those out. And let's see. I believe we are moving on to Ms. Sarah. Did you have anything else? Are you all set? Just want to make sure.
I'm all set. Thanks,
Okay.
everybody.
Thank you. We appreciate you. And our last thing on the agenda, we are going to wrap up a little bit early today, which is never a bad thing if we get our business conducted early. And we do hope to see you guys all back tomorrow. Our final thing is going to be our nominating committee. So as you guys know, Governor-elect Kathy will be taking office in April in Tampa. Well, she will be inducted in April in Tampa, and then she takes office shortly thereafter. And so with that, we are going to request calls for nominations from each district. From my understanding, the bylaws state that I am allowed to pick the nominating chair, and I have asked, and she has honored me with accepting past SIA board member Pat McKay to be the nominating chair for this biennium. So she will serve as the nominating chair. We do have one nomination from District 1, Cheryl Wilk from Boca has accepted the nomination. If there are no other nominations for District 1, then we will vote on that. As you guys know, the voting is going to be done differently, the same as when we held our meeting in October. So Today, we're going to ask you guys to think of nominations for the nominating committee and submit those to Governor-elect Kathy, or no, actually to past board member Pat. So you can submit those to Pat McKay, and then we will include in the information we send out. We do have a few things that need to be voted on, but based on the digital and virtual quorum, we can't really get all the delegates and place these votes in a organized fashion. So what we did last year is we sent it out via a vote box that's digital, and we were able to conduct that part of business after conference in an email. So that same thing will happen this year after we wrap conference, probably in 7 to 10 days. We will send out an email that will have the consent agenda from our fall conference. It will then also have motions of a few things that need to change, as well as a vote for the nominating committee. So today, we're just asking for calls for the nominating committee, for you guys to think of those and nominate people. We need one person from each district to serve on that board, with Pat McKay as our nominating committee chair. As most of you know, you guys, I see a lot of familiar faces. Leadership is so fun and it's so supportive, and we really need to encourage people to step into these positions and embrace the mission, the vision, and there will be nobody better to serve with and next to than Governor-elect Kathy. I have been on a board with her. I believe when we're finished, I'll have served with her for 8 years. And that's a long time to work with somebody and know how amazing of a person she is. So please encourage your, members, leadership in your clubs to step into these roles, or if they have any questions, to reach out to current board members. And then, of course, I'm going to ask and see if Pat has anything to say as the nominating committee chair, but she will help those 3 individuals on her position or on her committee to also speak about the advantages to being in these roles.
Somehow I couldn't unmute. I just want every club that's represented here today and every club that we have in the region to really give it some thought. I mean, serving on the regional level is just such a privilege, and I've enjoyed it personally, and it's helped professionally when I was before I retired. I would encourage everyone to give it a great deal of thought and see if you want to step up and be leaders in this organization. It's just been so rewarding personally to me. And I encourage all of you to try to do the same thing. And you'll be hearing from us.
Thank you so much. And I will see if Governor-elect Kathy has anything to add before we wrap our 95th annual business meeting, part of our conference. Again, we will have additional sessions tomorrow morning. And Governor-elect Kathy?
I really just say how wonderful it is to see everybody. And if anyone has any more questions, you know where to find us. If you go for a lot of the people on this call, their contact information is on soroptimistsr.org. And there's also a contact us link. So if you can't remember someone's name or what their email address is, I would go there and you'll be able to get in touch with us. But it was great seeing you all, and we'll see you in the morning, 10 a.m., right? No, 11 a.m. Get that right.
Yes, it's at 11 a.m. tomorrow. So we will go ahead and wrap today's meeting. You guys are welcome to stay.